Da 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 da. What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out, but just a couple of minutes because I am on the move today in that job that allows me to have this time to, right, put those lessons in, get those reps in, take in whatever experience that I need to take in a comfortable, safe environment. And this job that I have, this little job in a thrift store, has allowed me to ground, to allowed me to feel comfortable in the process, right? In part of that, taking baby steps. Sometimes you're not really taking baby steps because of those little things that we do to buffer the difficulties or the uncomfortable or the painful. Hello, Andrew. Hello. We've got 15 minutes today, and we are covering the topic this week of creation. And today, maybe I thought in this word creation, we could talk about that creation of the best human being we possibly can, right? Knowing that I am imperfect and to some respect, I think I will pass away in this lifetime with that imperfectness, maybe not perfectly intact, right? But something lessened in that load that I'll have to carry on in this next life, right? What I preach out there, right? It takes all kinds to make the world. I recognize that. I have my understandings and my beliefs, but some of those lessons, I think for the majority of those lessons that I take in my movement forward, right? There is no, when we talk about that rootedness, being grounded and stuff, there isn't that necessity to be grounded in the intellect, to be grounded in the religious ideologies or the political beliefs, right? These ideas that we pick up when we're very, very young in the understandings that we have that is just brought down from one generation to the next generation and just trip us up when we come to this certain stage in our lives or the existence of where we live or the world itself, that it can hinder that movement because we are so stuck on an idea. We are so stuck in a belief. I have my own beliefs, but I understand that the lessons that I take in and the lessons that I'm going to move with have to have that flexibility to work for everybody, right? No souls left behind, no human left behind in our choices. And to each one of our choices, like it's just a matter of, right, making a decision, making that choice, and just moving in that choice. And I feel that I have done that, but also in those lessons of baby steps, I wanted to make that process as comfortable as I possibly could for myself, right? To make it enjoyable, if at all possible. And I have done that for myself, right? In my goal setting of these big adventures. And to some people, might not seem like a big adventure, right? But where I'm sitting in this place, in this evolution of Cindy, right in this moment, understanding, right? It's just not Cindy's evolution that I'm looking out for, right? It's that highly sensitive and that empathic part of me that has something that that I feel is so important in our movement. And we have been so lacking in the giving of it, right? In giving of that consideration to that human part of us, right? We understand. We feel that breath in our necks. We feel the desperation. We feel that uncomfortableness. We understand where right that human is getting it wrong, and sometimes we can be head up knocked upside the head so many times and still not get it, right? But if you take some kind of movement and just work towards in that movement, I do believe that all paths lead to. But I'm going to end it at lead to, because I'm not looking so far ahead that I'm losing track of what I'm truly right meant to do, which is be that evidence that we can create the best human being we possibly can and be able to contribute to the world, right, in our own actions, because we want to give back, because what was given to us was such a great gift that we want to pay back. And it's not that we're being asked to do that, but it's just out of that gratefulness, right? And it's out of that understanding that, something or someone reached down, right? And helped me along. And I'm not beating myself up in any way. I'm not saying I have to do any of this, because I certainly don't. But I want to, because I know how much it would have meant to me, right? I'm here. I'm here now. Better late than never. It could have been a lot sooner than it was, right? But it's to each one of our choices whether or not we want to mix with what we don't understand, right? That's a little bit uncomfortable, feels a little bit unsafe sometimes. And I'm not saying to put ourselves in unsafe situations, but there is no movement without that uncomfortable movement. And that's just the truth. And in that creation, well, the whole creation for me is to make it as comfortable in the process as I can. My ideas about the baby steps, right? My ideas about mixing the turnips in with the mashed potatoes in order to get the turnips down, right? My ideas about enjoying the views, taking in the views, right? And more importantly, right, taking into consideration that the human matters, right? It's a very Hermes kind of thing to do. And if you look at Hermes, right, being a demigod himself and him wanting, right, and needing to help the humans because he saw and felt the unfairness of it all, right? And having, right, his peers look at him going like, what are you doing, right? The human is worthless. The human is the problem. The human has nothing to contribute. And yet, here we are. Here we are, right? And whether it's what do you call that? Precipice, right? Where we're about to take a big jump into something new, or we're going to expand on something we know already and make it better, right? Kind of like redoing that 1957 Chevy and souping it all up, because we can do that too. There's a lot of ideas, and what's not broke, there isn't a need in the fixing of that. Sometimes it's just a little bit of polish and a little bit of WD 40, right? And you can just keep going. You can miss the 20 minutes in the pit stop, getting all that tuned up again, right? As long as we're moving forward, those lessons will come across our paths again. And I do believe that they will, right? So we have to be creative. We have to be creative We're just moving forward, just making choices, and we're just moving forward in the creation of the best human being we possibly can. And when it comes across our path, right, we will take creative measures, right? Just like I'm doing. I'm doing it in baby steps, but I'm being creative in how I'm getting it done because I want that buffering, right? I want to come through it without a crash landing, right? All in one piece, if at all possible. Wouldn't that be amazing? You guys, I'm going to have short podcasts for the rest of the weekend. This is the busiest sale of the year. I am totally bagged at the end of each day. It's a 3-day process, 2-day or 4-day process, 1 day setting up, 2 days in the sale, and 1 day of totally cleaning up the mess, which is harder than all of it. And then I'll be right back into my days off. So forgive me if I'm only going to be here for a little bit in these lives, but I'll try and make the perspectives and the stories and the experiences and the lessons, right? Impact. Okay, sending a little bit of good cheer to the paramedics or the fire engine. Get to their destination. It's a false alarm and turn around, go right back. I live behind a fire station. Everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.